All right, everyone, this is the newest episode of the Movie Night Society. Today we're going to talk about uh, a comic book movie. We're not even this is our fifth episode, and we're doing comic book movies already. Uh, this was Will's pick, The Suicide Squad. Not Suicide Squad, The Suicide Squad, by directed by James Gunn.
An
The new
actual
one.
good
And
movie.
what was that?
I said, wait, so me or Dustin? Or both?
You. Well,
Yeah, you.
Will.
I was like, a good movie.
Yeah. Not like that crappy other Suicide Squad movie with Jared Leto
Will Smith.
and Will Smith. But
He
fuck,
didn't-
fuck that one.
Like, why would you put a triple? It just didn't, weird. Thank God we're
Yeah.
not talking. I never want to see an image from that movie again, ever. That's
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
It's
I
just-
had
that
also don't
movie-
like seeing an image from that movie, Julian.
Well, it's a good thing that we're not going to see any images of it today.
thank God.
Will, this was your pick. Why don't you just kind of talk about why you picked it?
Okay, sure, why not? Well, I had not seen it before, and I knew that Julian and one other friend I knew said really positive things about it. And I remember seeing the initial trailer and kind of being a little underwhelmed by it. I figured it was going to be good because it was James Gunn. I like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. It seemed like it had that same kind of vibe and energy and fun that the Guardians of the Galaxy films had. So, of course, I was like excited. It's just like the trailer didn't do much for me, but I knew at some point I would see it. And it was on HBO Max, so I was finally able to see it. So that's why I chose it.
All right. Yeah, this is interesting because it's not like a sequel to the other Suicide Squad movie. It's basically like a standalone movie. You don't have to have seen the previous movie at all. Even though it has characters from the 2016 movie. But yeah, I don't know. Should we just say like right off the bat like if we liked it or not? Because I enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed it a little less than when I saw it in the theater, but I still enjoyed this movie. This is my second time seeing it, I think.
Why don't you go,
Yeah.
Dustin? You're up.
I love it. I like it a lot more than the first one. The first one,
Well, I think that
that's-
goes without saying.
Yeah, that's not particularly like hard to do.
well,
Yeah.
I'll also say this though. I'm the 1%er where I actually like the first one a lot. I just like this one a lot better than the first one, but I did like the first one. But I don't know. I just thought the humor was well placed and everything, and it was violent and gory. And I hate when comic book movies stray away from gore when it's obviously supposed to be there. So I think they did well. I like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I don't know anything about the actual comics themselves. I've never read them. Have you, Dustin?
No, never.
Okay, and Will, I assume you haven't.
I've never read the Suicide Squad stuff. I've seen other like animated forms and like other kind of like live action forms of the Suicide Squad before, but I've never read the comics.
Yeah, I think I've only known about them through the movies. I've heard the comics are pretty good though. But I guess all three of us are going off of just the movies, nothing else. Yeah, Will, what did you think of the movie?
All right, so right off the bat, first I thought this movie it has a lot of jokes, which isn't too surprising given James Gunn likes at least with the Guardians. I've only seen the Guardians for his movies, so I can't speak about the others. But I know he with at least the Guardians, there's just like joke after joke after joke, and I thought for the most part, most of the jokes land pretty well. I don't like there were some times I laughed pretty hard, and then there were other times where like, that one didn't work for me. But like overall, I thought the humor was pretty solid. I think I found the Guardians of the Galaxy movies a bit more funny though. Just me.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that.
Yeah, I definitely like Guardians of the Galaxy movies more than the Suicide Squad, but his humor was there, and it was still pretty good. Most of it lands. I don't know if I should say this now or later. I think like the movie's fairly well paced, except like the last half hour of the movie, I feel like kind of drags on, and I was kind of ready for it to be over, like the first hour and a half. I don't know if I'm like alone in that. It just, to me, like at that point, I was like, I feel like the movie could just kind of be done here.
Well, I think for me, the part that slowed down the most, like on this watch, was the middle chunk. Like that was the stuff that I found kind of the least interesting in the movie, and the least memorable. Um, I don't know, Dustin. Like, did you have any issues with the pacing, or were you
No.
pretty like okay?
It's just, I mean, maybe if I think about it, maybe the end, but while I watched it, and this is my third time seeing it, that just didn't come to mind. I thought it was fine. I should say I didn't feel it was like too slow or fast. I'll say that. I just thought I enjoyed it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess so I don't know if I should like say this now or later, but like it kind of does like the same sin in a sense I thought that the first one did, and it's gonna make like the anti-heroes into heroes at the end. It's
Yeah,
like, they're doing this again. This was annoying about the first one, and they're doing it again here. While it a lot better. And I knew like exactly how they were gonna like beat the final villain. Like exactly. I was like, this is how it's gonna happen. And it happened like exactly the way I thought it would.
yeah. I guess like yeah, we're not like spoiling too much here, but we are going to spoil the movie. We're going to break down kind of the big plot points in the movie and talk about it. Um, so I guess we'll just start.
Let's
I really
go.
I liked the way this movie opened up a lot. I think this is maybe my personal favorite part of the movie, if I had to, if I if I'm recalling right. Just the way they like get you into the premise was so fast and like really easy to understand. Uh, and I think like that is a little biased because like I have seen the 2016 version, like we all have, but I think like I watched it with someone who hadn't seen the 2016 version, and like they like understood it fine, you know? It's very like Amanda Waller is just like Amanda Waller. I guess we'll like explain
A
who some
crazy
of the characters
bitch.
are. Yeah, who and we can compare some of the stuff to the 2016 version because some of the characters like Amanda Waller are in both movies. I liked her a lot more in this movie. I thought her performance was funnier, and yet it was like I don't know, it was like so much more oddly restrained in this movie, and it was like funnier to me. Like just her kind of serious, like kind of portrayal of it was like so funny to me. Um, yeah, I like so basically Amanda Waller is sort of the I guess like the of the Suicide Squad, which is uh sort of the nickname for Task Force X, if I'm remembering correct, which is basically Amanda Waller kind of recruits uh supervillains and criminals to do uh like kind of like almost like jobs that like mercenaries would do for the US government. Am I like pretty accurate so far?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds
Uh
right.
yeah. So it starts off with this character Savant, who's played by Michael Rooker, which I thought was nice because
Yeah,
he
I
played
noticed that
Yondu.
right off the bat. I was like, that's him. And it's James Gunn, so it made sense. But I didn't know that he was in it, so that was kind of like, oh hey.
Yeah. Well, he's not in it for very long,
No, no,
unfortunately.
I was a little sad about that. But he was still
Um,
in it, and it was fun. So
this was an interesting part of the movie to me because like going in, I don't think I saw like a single trailer for this movie. Like I don't think I knew who was in this movie except for Harley Quinn and Rick Flag. And I think I knew like Idris Elba was in it. Um, so basically, like, kind of like all the stuff being explained about the Suicide Squad and Task Force Force X are like is kind of being told through Savant going through this stuff. Like they put the chip in his neck. They put a chip in all these people's necks that Amanda Waller can detonate if they go off of the mission. You know, if they run away, they go AWOL or whatever. She can detonate it and kill them instantly. So he's put on the Suicide Squad, and the team consists of, let me pull up my notes. Let's see, we've got Savant, Harley Quinn, Rick Flag, Weasel, who I thought was a funny character. It's just a like a human-sized weasel.
Yeah.
Like a rabid weasel.
Doesn't talk or anything either, just kind of make weasel sounds.
Yeah.
It's just a weasel. I didn't even give him like something the weasel. It's just weasel.
And this character is motion captured by Sean Gunn, James Gunn's brother, which I thought was cool. Sean Gunn also appears in the movie, his face and everything, as Calendar Man a little later. And I thought it was interesting because the actor who played Polka Dot Man in this movie, I think played Calendar Man in like, I think like maybe like the Arkham Asylum games. I'm trying to see.
If he did,
in the animated film Batman: The Long Halloween.
He's done kind of a decent amount of DC stuff because he also played Abracadabra on The Flash.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and he was in like the Ant-Man movies.
And he was in The Dark Knight for like
one
scene.
yeah.
Julian was probably going to say that, but I beat him to it.
Yeah, he was in The Dark Knight, and he's also been in like he's been in like Dune and Blade Runner 2049 and Prisoners. So he's been in like some Denis Villeneuve films. I like this actor a lot. David, I hope I'm pronouncing this right. David Mauchian. I think he's really good. And in this movie, I think he's maybe my favorite character. I liked Polka Dot Man a lot in this movie. I thought he was fun. But anyway, I thought the Calendar Man connection was a little funny. But other members of the team kind of include this guy Javelin, who like has a big javelin that's like kind of like all he does. Mongal, who's like a monster girl. And let's see, Captain Boomerang is there. I forgot about Captain Boomerang. He shows up in both movies. And then the detachable kid, also known as TDK, which I thought was a really funny gag, that he's just like this guy who can detach his limbs and they like float.
Just like Buggy the Clown, straight up Buggy the Clown from One Piece.
Yeah, but a lot less like lethal because he doesn't use weapons or anything. He just like pops out his arms and they just float forward and start like smacking soldiers. And the last one is Blackguard, played by Pete Davidson.
My boy Pete.
My
favorite character in the whole movie, by the way. Out of all of them.
Oh, you know, this has to do with it being my favorite part. I love the part where his face got eviscerated. It got completely obliterated.
It was so graphic. Like, holy shit.
But yeah, so the team is kind of like dropped off on this island. I think I wrote it down. It's a South American island nation called, it's in my notes, Corto Maltese. And they're kind of dropped in on a beach, and Blackguard, Pete Davidson's character, is revealed to have like given the info to the whatever, like I guess it's like a dictatorship, like the government. They're not trying to stop the government, they're just trying to like get information about like some experiments that happen to be like in this country. But Blackguard like informs the government like that, like, oh hey, we're dropping in, but like don't kill me. But they kill him anyway.
Immediately.
And yeah, basically every character here that's introduced in like the first 5 minutes dies except for Harley Quinn and Rick Flag. They even killed Captain Boomerang. Everyone's
I know.
favorite character.
I was actually
Captain
surprised
Boomerang.
they did that.
I was a little surprised too, but I think I didn't care that he died.
I didn't really
I'm
care
being
either. I
honest.
just didn't think that.
Yeah, it didn't really
yeah.
matter. Honestly,
No.
I
No.
didn't have an attachment to him, dude. This beginning part, there has not been a movie in years. I can't even think of a movie that has threw me so off guard. I knew like Pete Davidson's character was gonna die because it's fucking Pete. Like he's not a main character in a AAA film. It ain't gonna happen. So I knew he was gonna die. I thought it would be funny. You know, I was like, whatever. But then fucking everyone died, and I was like, dude. And then the main guy that I thought was gonna be, you know, they build him up and the whole fucking like, dude.
Yeah,
everybody
yeah,
dies.
yeah. Even Savant dies, and it's in the
Yeah.
most like, just like he just tries to run away. He just sees
He
all this
switches.
carnage and death in front of him, and just freaks out and decides to just try to swim away. And Amanda Waller detonates a device in his neck. And it was, I liked the little like title cards throughout the movie. Like his like head explodes in the water, and then like all the blood kind of spells out like, I think like Warner Brothers Presents or something like that. I thought those like titles were pretty fun. Yeah, I don't know. Anything else about like this scene? Will, what did you think of this scene?
I thought it was pretty cool. I liked it. Definitely fit the style of James Gunn. I was like, yeah, this just screams James Gunn to me, and I like his style. So it was cool. I liked it.
Yeah, I really wasn't expecting this part. Like, yeah, for all of them to die was like really surprising. Because yeah, I didn't know. I was kind of like, oh, these are all like pretty, you know, kind of minor characters,
Yeah,
except
I
Harley
figured.
Quinn.
I figured they would mostly
more,
die.
There was one more member that survived.
Oh yeah, yeah. In the post credit scene, it is revealed that the Weasel died. But it's funny, the Weasel doesn't die through like from the soldiers or anything. He jumps off the helicopter and falls in the water.
I
And
love
he
that
just
scene.
starts like,
Did anyone
like,
check if the
screaming,
weasel
like,
could swim?
yeah, no one checked if this weasel could swim at all.
I know. Then
And
he goes down in the water just kind of like a little bit and gets rescued, and then they drag him to shore and just like, Weasel's
like
dead.
he's dead. Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, that was like nothing. Yeah, that was really funny.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny, and like this whole scene I thought was just like a really unsubtle nod to the first Suicide Squad movie. I felt, you know what I mean? It was like a, hey, that old Suicide Squad is dead, like this is the new thing. I thought that was funny, and even the title is kind of like that. Like it's just the Suicide Squad. It's not just Suicide Squad. Yeah, I like this scene a lot. But then we're kind of like introduced to the real main cast of the film, Team 2, which comprises of Bloodsport, Peacemaker, Ratcatcher 2, Polka Dot Man, and King Shark. Which I liked all these characters. I thought they were all really fun. What do you guys think? We're kind of like just going off the cuff, but like, what do you guys think of these characters? Dustin, how about you go?
I like all of them. There's not one that I don't like. However, I don't think I'm not going to judge the movie based on this, but I did make a comparison that Peacemaker was John Cena did a better job at Peacemaker in the HBO series than I think he did in the movie, which is just something I want to throw out since we're talking about him. I don't know. And I'm not making that comparison because I saw the series, if that makes sense. It's just when I watched the movie before the series was even announced, I just thought it was John Cena was just playing a dumber version of himself. kind of. And I was just like, I get it. Like, it wasn't bad. It was funny. Like, it was all of his bits were pretty funny, but especially well, we'll get to that. But I mean, I liked them all in general. The only character that made me feel weird, and rightfully so, was Polka Dot Man. That shit was like that guy, dude. That whole thing with his mom threw me off guard too. I was like, "Yo, what the hell is happening to this guy?"
I loved that. That like he always saw like his mom and everything, and like we always got to see what he was kind of seeing. That was great.
Yeah, the Polka Dot Man character has like a fear of his mom, or like a hatred of his mom, and just sees like everyone as his mom, and he says that it's like to make it easier to like kill people.
Yeah,
like,
I love that they show that though, like they show and not just tell, because you could have just accepted that at face value, like okay, I buy it, like this character's weird, but the fact that we got to see it just made it so much funnier.
And they kept throwing it in your face, and every time it got funnier. Every time you saw the moms, it just got crazier and more out of hand. Like, that dude was a trip. I loved him. Also, my favorite though, comedy wise, King Shark. Easy day. And I like Sylvester Stallone did such a good job. Like, even in the little grunts and noises, like he put effort into, and it just fit. Every time he's on screen, I laughed. Like, it was just funny. So I liked him.
Yeah, we should mention. I guess Sylvester Stallone is like our most viewed actor so far for the Movie Night Society, because we did Rocky as our second movie, which was also Will's pick. So
wait, I'm seeing a pattern here.
It's a theme.
You can only
fucking pattern.
From now on, you can only pick movies that Sylvester Stallone is in. Will,
I'm okay with that. Yeah, there's a lot of Rocky movies, so.
Oh God, it's a Rocky movie every 3 weeks. Like,
yeah, I liked King Shark a lot. So King Shark is basically like, I think Amanda Waller says that like people believe that he was like a prehistoric god or something, right?
Yeah,
or like he was born from that. But King Shark is basically like an idiot. Like he can't. He's just dumb. Like he's like reading a book, but it's like upside down, and his vocabulary is like super limited.
It's pretty different.
It was really
the Flash version, because he was also done on the Flash TV show, and I don't know like the backstory in the comics, but in the show he's just like a dude who like experimented and got turned into a shark. But he's like just a normal guy for the most part. But yeah, I don't know his story in the comics, so I don't know which one's more accurate.
Yeah, I don't know either. And I know he's on the Harley Quinn, the animated series as well. I've heard that series is pretty good, so but I think ironically enough, I think my least favorite character in this movie is Harley Quinn. And I guess we'll get into why just through the plot, but I don't know, this iteration of Harley Quinn just like doesn't land for me. Like a lot of the jokes with her specifically felt forced to me. I don't know if I'm the only one.
No, I felt like pretty much the same way. I thought she was better than some of like the previous stuff she was in.
Oh yeah, she's better in this than like.
I really liked the scene where she like frees herself from being captured. I actually really liked that scene. But like jokes wise, I don't think I laughed at really anything she said.
Well, here's where I'll make my first comparison to the first Suicide Squad movie, since she is in both. And it's supposed to be the same, like, iteration of the character, I guess. But I thought one of the good parts of the first one was when Batman was introducing her, and he said something along the lines of like, the Joker's crazy, but like she's more insane or whatever. And you just don't see that in this movie. Like, she was like, if I'm thinking joke more insane than the Joker, she did violent shit, but it seemed like the writing was more unexpected than she was. Like, I was just like, okay, I mean, she's crazy and it makes sense but she was like more quirky than like insane in this. So I didn't hate it, but I thought it was odd.
Yeah, you said exactly what I was going to say. yeah, she's more quirky than insane. And I think that's what like my problem with it was like, yeah, she doesn't seem like a I don't know. She doesn't feel like Harley Quinn to me in this
Yeah.
movie. She just kind of feels like, oh, kind of yeah, quirky, odd character who says like random things that aren't like terribly funny. Uh yeah, I liked the action scenes with her, but I don't know. She didn't like really have any like arc in this movie either, which I think was like okay, but I don't know. I think she should have been funnier or something.
There was
Like
that.
everything
Go.
with Polka Dot Man, for example, like
Yeah,
pretty much like landed with me.
they tried to
Um,
do that side story with her about being in love with the dictator guy.
Mm.
yeah, that's the part where I mentioned earlier, like this movie kind of dragged for me. Even the first time I watched this part of the movie, I just felt was like super like I don't care like about Harley Quinn. Like so, yeah, Harley Quinn basically gets captured by the government, and she spends like a whole day with the new dictator, this like young guy, and they like have a whole day of romance, and then he reveals that he's going to use like experiments on like the people of the country to like you know kind of like submit to their like principles and ideals basically.
Couldn't you like cut
And
out this like whole subplot and not really miss a whole lot?
yeah, exactly, that's like my problem with it. And like even later when she escapes, it was kind of like unnecessary, like it didn't need to happen at all, you know.
No, it was pretty cool, but yeah, not necessary. Did not need to be anywhere near that long either. But I did enjoy that just because it also made me think of Lollipop Chainsaw, which was fitting since I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure James Gunn wrote
yes,
like
that's yeah.
script for. So it's like okay, that makes sense. But like other than that, I also was just wondering like what's like the point of the scene other than like oh it's kind of cool to watch her just take out a lot of bad guys and like the effects with the blood and everything was kind of neat. But like yeah, other than that, you could cut it from the film and not miss a single thing.
Yeah, yeah, I think like that's another problem with her too. Like I like Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. Like I think she's a really good choice,
Agreed.
but they never really seem to write her well to me. Um, I don't know. I guess it's just like more like what I want from the character, but it just like I don't know.
I don't
Doesn't
think
work
it.
for me
I
too
don't think
much.
it's just what you want. Because even in the first one, they portrayed her as insane. Like she was crazy. She was legitimately crazy. She did crazy shit, banging her head against shit, and like yeah, she turned quirky. I don't think it's what you want. I think it's what it should be. Like we all know how Harley Quinn is supposed to be like, and they just didn't for some reason. Because it could have been a success if they wrote her like she was supposed to be. Everybody would have loved it. So I'm confused as to why this version of her was so different from even the first movie or even
I have
from
a,
any of the other source material. It's just like I don't. But again, I do agree with you though. I do like Margot Robbie as the character. I think yeah, she just needs some better writing with the
well,
character.
have either of you guys seen Birds of Prey? Because I haven't.
No.
No.
I have a feeling there was some like big character change with her in that movie that like maybe they try to like steer it towards more quirky.
Maybe.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but anyway, like yeah, probably my least favorite aspect of the movie from like a plot standpoint and like a comedy standpoint. Like I didn't really like the character that much. Um, I did like Bloodsport a lot in this movie. It's kind of funny that it's almost the same sort of premise as was it Deadshot in the
Yeah.
first movie?
Yeah, with the daughter.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, like it's like almost. I mean, it's not exactly the same thing, but it's like you basically could have made it Deadshot and it would have worked. You know what I mean?
Dude,
I
if
don't
Will
know.
Smith was there, it would literally nothing like would have changed. I mean, obviously dialogue, but like it was the same character, man. But he looked cooler.
Yeah, yeah. I thought Bloodsport was cooler looking,
That
and
mask he
I like
has is sick.
yeah, and I like Idris Elba in this movie. Idris Elba like strikes me as an interesting actor because like he can clearly do like really serious stuff, I know that show Luther is like really good. But yeah, then he's like just really funny in this movie as like he's like basically like the straight man to like all the kind of crazy people around him. But like it's very funny. I don't know. I liked his performance a lot in this movie. Um, and then there's yeah, Ratcatcher 2. I like this character. I thought she was fun. I thought it was like a fun little like, oh, she can control rats. Like that's fun. That's cool. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I liked her.
I like the like kind of the father-daughter relationship she makes with Idris Elba.
Oh yeah, and the father is played by Taika Waititi, who is like involved with like he directed Thor Ragnarok.
I didn't even
Uh,
notice that. Is that bad? I didn't
oh,
even
you
I
recognize.
didn't
didn't?
know that
I
either.
didn't notice that was him.
Well, I guess that makes it. Like, I don't think you've seen any movies with him in like in person, have you? Because
No,
he's
but
like
I knew what he
he's
looked
in
like.
MCU.
Yeah,
Okay,
I knew what he looked like. I just I don't know why it just didn't. I
it just didn't
didn't
register.
recognize him. No, it didn't register.
Okay, yeah, I noticed right away, but he's not like super important in the movie. Um, I felt. I mean, he's not even in the movie really. He's in flashbacks basically. Um, and then yeah, is that all like basically the main characters? Like, what do you guys think of Rick Flag in this movie compared to the first movie?
I liked him in this.
I liked him in
Yeah,
both.
yeah, yeah.
Also, I just gotta say, if any of us were to be like, okay, Julian is this character, Will's this character, Dustin would be Rick Flag. Just saying that right now. Just in terms of looks, he's got the Rick Flag look. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I thought he was funnier in this movie too. I mean, like the whole movie is essentially funnier than the first one, which I thought was a good direction to go with. Um, but okay, who would I be if I was one of the Suicide Squad?
Oh, ooh,
I
gosh,
don't
it's
know. It's hard to
um,
relate people to the like they're all
To
fucking
these
insane.
insane people.
Julian would be Polka Dot Man for sure.
You bet.
Okay,
Just because,
okay.
like, I have to pick the weirdest character to be Julian. So
Polka Dot Man had my favorite line in the entire movie, and it's so quick. I don't know if you guys know it, but it's they're in the room explain like Amanda Waller's like explaining their mission. Like you got to get into Jotunheim to like retrieve this information or whatever, and like everyone's saying like weird stuff. Like the whole operation is called Operation Starfish, and Peacemaker is like like starfish. Did you know that's slang for butthole? And it's like, does that have anything to do with it? And like Man Waller's like, no. And like King Shark just like raises his hand. He's like, hand. It's like everyone's just
yeah.
saying dumb stuff. And then Bloodsport's just like, we're all gonna die. And then Polka Dot Man just turns to him and he's like, I hope so.
Oh yeah,
And I thought that
and
I fucking lost that in the
Polka
theater.
Dot
Like that
Man
was
does die, and I was actually
I
sad when
know.
he did.
he got his
Like,
wish.
oh, not Polka Dot Man. I liked him.
And it's like right after he's like, I'm a superhero.
I know. Just dead.
He's dead immediately. Yeah, yeah. Polka Dot Man. I just found like everything about this character really funny. Like his whole like thing is that he can shoot out polka dots from his body.
I love the scene where John Cena's like, "What? You just what? Oh wait, no. Did John Cena or Idris Elba say like, oh, what is your power? Like, you just shoot polka dots at people?"
Cena.
And he's just like, "Yeah." Like,
Yeah.
Oh. And he's just like guessing. I was like, "That's what? No. That's your power?" Yeah.
No, it was like he says it. He's like what does he shoot polka dots at people? And it just like the camera pans to Amanda Waller, just like. Just, I loved
like,
her deadpan expressions
joking
in this movie. It was just so. It's like Amanda Waller is just fucking tired of everything she has to deal with, and I super just like funny.
They're very accurate when it comes to like the source material with Amanda Waller because she's just like so serious all the time.
Yeah, I thought it was, which yeah, I thought made it funnier in this movie. It was just like. Yeah, it cracked me up.
Dude, missed opportunity though with Amanda Waller because I haven't read any comics, so I don't know her her full story. But I know her character because she was in the Batman animated series, and then I read something on Wikipedia about her.
Not to mention Justice League.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like
and
there's
she was in the Flash too.
yeah,
and
there's
Arrow.
like missed opportunities just in this movie to like her character was great. Like she was an insane person that just happened to be in a position of sanity, and she like had to play the part to get the job done.
Most people don't even say she's insane. A lot of people just say she's straight up evil. Like
Yeah,
she's a villain in charge of
honestly
other
she
villains.
is. And I wish
she basically threatens like Bloodsport's daughter so that he can join the Suicide Squad in this movie.
And she would
like
do
all
it.
of her subordinates are just like are you're not really gonna kill his daughter, are you? And she just again gives that just stone face look to them.
Dude, I feel like DC loves to just tease things that they never do, and I feel like this is one of the things that they should have fucking done something with her, because she's one of the few characters like canon that knows like Batman's identity and shit, like really important shit like that. So I feel like they could have added some depth other than her just being like an evil bitch and that happened to work for the US government. Like they could have, I don't know what they could have done, but ever since I learned that, I was just hoping that there would be something more than her just being an asshole to the Suicide. Like I was hoping there'd be something or some kind of Easter egg or like something. And it's, again, I love her. Like no negative stuff on her character. I feel like DC is going. This is one of the movies that I think one of the beginning ones in the last couple years up until now that they're like trying to go the Marvel route with like building the universe of movies. And Amanda Waller is one of the characters that they could have really built in this movie. And it's like maybe it's for legal reasons or whatever else, but they just didn't. They just made her the same character, but better as last time, which I'm okay with. I don't know, man. That's just one of the few things that I'm a little disappointed at.
Well,
But
I think
again,
it's
I
like
got
kind
nothing
of
bad to say about her.
it seems like it's more of a problem with like the fact that DC kind of screwed up this whole like cinematic universe thing.
Oh
kind
yeah,
of from the get-go, you
They
know,
really
and
messed up big time.
bad.
Yeah,
like who the fuck is
didn't
Batman? Who is Batman now? I don't get it. I don't get it. Who the fuck is Batman?
It's funny. I saw this movie after the new Batman. It's just like funny how all over the place DC is with like their
Everywhere.
stuff. It's like there's like what like how many I don't know. There's like at least 2 iterations of the Joker, I think now, but like they're not in the same canon, and which I admittedly kind of like that DC is like kind of allowing themselves to go in just any direction they want to.
Yeah, like ironically, it's kind of like working better for them.
Dude,
yeah.
And Will, let me say this, because I was about to say that. It is doing them so much justice, but they don't fucking know it. And I promise you they don't fucking know it. Because right now, they have all these standalone movies. They have the Joker, that's standalone. They have this Batman, the new one, which I guess is returning, but maybe that's its own standalone series thing, kind of like the Nolan shit, right? They have these standalone films that are fucking genius. Maybe even the Suicide Squad if they don't connect it to anything in the future. And they're all great. It's so good. Not the Justice League original. But they have like all these other things, and they stand so good. And I feel like they're gonna fuck it up again because they don't know what they have, and they're gonna try and like just bash money together to like combine them into one universe, and it's gonna fucking blow ass. And I hope they don't do it.
If they do that, I think
because,
it would be pretty bad if they did try to do that.
They're on a great roll right now. They're other than Birds of Prey, because it kind of started around then, but like their new series is great. Their new movies coming out are great. Like, please don't fuck it up, DC. If there's a DC executive watching this video right now for some fucking godforsaken reason, don't fuck it up, man. This is a good movie.
Yeah, DC's like they're pretty much on fire lately.
Yeah, pretty much. The Wonder Woman movie wasn't that great.
That's why I said pretty much.
I haven't seen
it. All their stuff that's usually like connected to that like universe like that failed ends up not being like that great. Except like Aquaman was fun. Julie and I
Well, okay,
enjoyed
Aquaman was a fun like
yeah, but it's like
mess.
not. Yes,
The new
It
one?
was like a
no, the
the
first one. The
Oh
yeah,
wait, the
the
new one's not out
2016.
yet, huh?
yeah, just Aquaman.
No, the Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom or some shit.
Yeah.
What is it
I
called?
don't
That better
know.
not shit the bed. I feel like it's already like the Wonder Woman movie, and I haven't even seen it yet. It's just not going to be okay.
I don't even know if is James Gunn direct. We're getting on a little bit of a tangent, but is James Gunn directing the new Aquaman?
I don't
Because
know.
if he
That'd
is,
be funny.
I'm confident in it.
I'll see it.
But
If he did it,
if it's not,
yeah, I'm with you there, man.
then
It's probably to be honest, let's be real. It's gonna be shit. Like it looks exactly like Justice League did when it was coming out. It kind of cool scenes, all the hype, but then you're gonna watch it and realize all the cool scenes were in the trailer, and you shouldn't have watched the trailer. And then the rest of the movie's fucking 4 hours too long, and then you're just like, fuck. And then it's just another Aquaman movie out in the fucking wild that no one's ever gonna talk about. Unless
That's what
they're
I
like
kind of
shitting on the universe.
That's what I kind of expected with the first Aquaman, though. And Julie and I watched it and was like, that was actually
it was
fun.
pure entertainment, like
Yeah,
all the way
it had
through.
no
Like,
right to be that entertaining. Like
I haven't seen
I
it
it was
all the way
like,
through.
wasn't it the first thing that came out after Justice League, or like one of them?
I think so. It was
And it's
one
like,
of them. Yeah,
how is this so much better than like everything else that DC's
yeah.
done
It was
lately?
like more
what?
epic than like Avengers Endgame. It was
I
like
know.
insane.
That's really epic. Like this had no right to be this good, or at least this fun.
I did look. James Gunn is directing the second one, so I'm
Oh.
confident in it.
Wait,
Because I love
that's a
I
surprise.
love James Wan.
I think
Malignant
so,
was like
Gunn.
one of my favorite movies last year. It was so much fun.
Wait, did you say James Gunn or James who?
James Wan
Wait, what did he do?
Saw and Insidious. He did like Furious 7. Like I said, Malignant. I don't know. I always feel like James Wan just brings like just enough to a movie and a project that is just like just makes it stand out above like the average thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, Aquaman. The first Aquaman was just like insanity.
You're
so
making me
funny.
want to watch it now. Because I've seen like it's been on TV and I've watched it a little bit. I've seen clips, but I've never sat down and just all the way watched it.
Yeah, we got to wrap up the Aquaman talk, but it is like it's so ridiculous but it's like fun.
It is a fun movie.
But yeah, anyway, back to the Suicide Squad. On a real tangent there. But yeah, basically, this new team of the Suicide Squad, kind of like they have to break into a place called Jotunheim, that's on this island, and yeah, retrieve this information. So, basically, like they like camp overnight on the island, on that like when they first like drop, and then Rick Flag is like captured by some people, and then they go in to like rescue him. And I thought this was a really funny scene of just these members of the Suicide Squad just murdering everyone in this camp, uh, very violently. Did someone get shot in the dick? Am I recalling that right?
Probably.
Or did he just like have his dick out and they like just shot him in the
I remember
chest?
there was just like a dude naked for like no reason.
Yeah.
Like, what? Okay, did we need to see? Do we need
I
to
thought
see
he
him
was gonna
naked?
get shot in the dick. That would have been funny.
No, I think he got like shot in the chest or head or something.
I think so. Yeah.
Like
Real
you see
missed
his
opportunity.
dick, which I could have done without, but
And then yeah, they basically kill all these people, and like in this scene, like Bloodsport and Peacemaker are kind of like trying to one up each other
So
and
funny.
like do like crazier kind of stunts and tricks with like because they're both basically marksmen, and that's like
I like
their
the rivalry in that scene was pretty funny.
yeah, like when Peacemaker is introduced, Amanda Waller says like, oh, he's like he can like give him a gun and he can hit anything, and Bloodsport's basically like, that's exactly what I do. Like, why do you need me? And Peacemaker's just like, or like, why do we need him? And Peacemaker's like, what? Like, I use like I hit things more in the center, you know, I hit things like better than you. And he says something like, Bloodsport says like, how do you hit things more in the center? He says, I use smaller bullets, which comes back later. When we'll get to that. But yeah, they kill everyone in this camp to like rescue Rick Flag, and then they like basically find out that like Rick Flag is totally fine, and it's just like drinking coffee or tea with these people, and it's revealed that they're like the freedom fighters trying to like kind of overthrow the government and make it more democratic. And I thought it was just a really funny reveal. Like, oh shit, we just killed like all of these people we didn't have to. I liked the incompetency in like the Suicide Squad, and like just how they kind of operate was really funny to me. Like again, nobody checked if the weasel could swim. Just like really, really funny. I don't know. What do you guys think of this scene?
I loved it.
I think at that point it was like my favorite scene.
Yeah,
kind of like what
this
Julian
is
said, like the incompetency, like they just like had no idea that these were not the people that they were supposed to kill. And I kept thinking, like, how is nobody hearing or noticing any of this though? But yeah, that was really funny because it's like, okay, this is going too well. There's got to be like something that's gonna happen here, but I didn't think it was gonna be that. Like, oh, like Rick Flag being fine, be like, hey guys, it's like these are people that we're supposed to be helping. It's like, oh no.
I think my favorite kill in that scene was they're just like walking through the camp, and there's just a part where like this dude is sleeping. Like again, it's like, yeah, how does like no one hear this? But this dude is like sleeping on like a cot or
This
something.
is also my
And
favorite, by the way.
yeah, and Peacemaker just walks like beside him casually and just axes like just hits him in
Oh
the body
yeah.
with his axe like 10 times as he walks by. And I just thought like just the nonchalant nature of it was just like so perfect.
Dude, I was fucking dying every time I saw that because it literally is so casual. He just monotone destroying the guys just like fucking gruesomely dying in silence. Like, oh
yeah, I just want to say I thought John Cena was like really funny in this movie. I was like kind of surprised when I first saw it. I was like, man, John Cena is like an actor. Like, I don't know, he's good. He's like funny in this movie.
dude, I literally
like
thought he was playing his WWE persona. I know I said it before, but I was just like, funny. But
yeah, I didn't see like too much about John Cena. I knew he was like a wrestler, and everything. I knew he was like in like one of the Fred movies. So like I didn't have much expectation for this guy.
the
And
babysitter.
Most people just know him like for the meme.
yeah, the memes too. Yeah. So that was like all I really knew about him before that. So I thought he was good in this movie, and I haven't seen the show Peacemaker yet, but I want to. So yeah, they basically decide to like, even though they just killed like 90% of their like squad, they decide to team up with the freedom fighters to like get into Jotunheim. And basically they're trying to get into Jotunheim to like stop them from using this creature that they found in space called Starro the Conqueror, which I thought this thing was really fucking cool. But I do think that they showed it too early. I think it should have been held off until like they finally get to the facility, because there's like a whole scene with the dictator and like his general, and they're talking to this guy. I forgot the actor's name, but the character's name is like the Thinker, and he's got like all these like things in his head. And I just felt like, man, they just like explained this thing too early. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
they should have really built it up more. Uh, because we just kind of like know everything about this Starro creature like way too soon, and we know it's like going to be a thing later.
I thought it was pretty funny that they used like that character. I think James Gunn like tried to pick like one of the most like obscure, weird characters that like they haven't done like anything before, like action wise, and it's like the starfish. We're gonna go with that because I actually knew about that character before, so I was like, when they said Operation Starfish, I knew it's like, oh, that giant starfish thing. That's where they're going with this. Okay.
Yeah, that's basically, James Gunn seemed to like pick the most obscure, weirdo, like C-list characters from DC and like put them all in this movie, or a lot of them at least. And I really liked. I was gonna mention with Calendar Man too. Uh, Calendar Man, like apparently the writers of the new Batman movie have been like saying, like, oh, we might do Calendar Man for one of our next movies, which is interesting because he's like one of these characters from the Suicide Squad that is like usually kind of a joke.
Wait, I don't know
So
who
we'll
that
see how
is.
that happens.
Who's Calendar Man?
He shows up in like one scene in this movie, but he was like the guy who was like bald, like clean shaven, and like he had like it said like JAN, like January, then like FEB, like February, all around his head.
What? Well, like, what are his powers?
I don't think he has powers. I think he's almost more like a Riddler character. I'm really not sure.
Wait, I remember. I think I watched a YouTube video on him.
We were
Wait,
talking
didn't he
about
have, I
Calendar
thought
Man
he
though.
was in a scene. Wasn't he helping somebody with something?
I
No.
don't know. I don't not in this movie.
Oh.
Um, but I was saying, well, like the character Calendar Man is like apparently like in like the writers of the new Batman movie are saying like he's possibly going to be in one of the sequels.
Mm.
Because it's funny because he's just like in this movie as like
Yeah.
this really like lame character.
I didn't even like. What was the scene with him in? Because I don't remember.
Yeah, Dustin didn't remember either. It's like in the prison when they're like introducing most of the members, and I think like Bloodsport passes by him, uh, and they exchange like a line or something.
Okay. I
Uh,
don't think I remember that scene. I know like very
okay.
little about Calendar Man. I know he's like in the Arkham games, and that's like all my knowledge on him.
Yeah. Anyway, I wanted just because we mentioned like that this is like basically the C-list roster of DC characters.
Wait, is he in the Long Halloween?
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. Yeah.
I'm thinking of that because I watched that like 3 months ago. He had something. He was a big character in that, not like a main.
Yeah,
But he had a
apparently.
big
Yeah.
part. I remember. I don't remember what it was though. It was like something to do with like. I don't think he had. He's like super smart. I think was his shtick, or like he could tell the future or something. I'm trying to. I don't remember.
Oh, that feels like it would make sense. Yeah.
Like he had like the dates in his head, and they were trying to figure out what they were. And I think he either knew what they were, he didn't know. He just knew they were important dates. I'm really. I don't remember. It's been too long. I only saw it once. But yeah, it was like he was. Yeah, you're right. He was like a Riddler, dude. That's what I'm thinking about. I gotta go back and watch this now. I don't remember him being in this movie. I gotta go rewatch that part when they introduce him,
Yeah,
just so I can see.
he's pretty early on. It's when like Bloodsport is walking through the prison,
Yeah.
uh, being introduced to the other members of the Suicide Squad. Um, yeah. So anyway, like the characters basically have to kind of like intercept the Thinker and like capture him so that they can use him to get into Jotunheim, and retrieve this information about Starro. So they like go to this bar to like find him there. Uh, and there's a couple cameos that I thought were fun. We see I'm gonna try to look up her name. But the woman who plays Mantis in Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm probably not gonna pronounce this right, but Palm Clementif is in there as like a dancer, and then also Lloyd Kaufman of Troma Entertainment, the place where James Gunn got his kind of start in film, is in that scene as well. He's also in the first Guardians of the Galaxy. He's like one of the prisoners who's like yelling or something. So I just thought I always got to mention Lloyd Kaufman because I like Lloyd Kaufman a lot. So yeah, they basically get the Thinker, and manage to get into Jotunheim. There's like some other stuff that happens, like obviously they try to get Harley Quinn. They're like, we're gonna go rescue Harley Quinn, and she just breaks out anyway, like just as they're about to go in and rescue her, which I thought was funny, but not like super important to the plot. So yeah, they get into Jotunheim. They like decide to like plant explosives to like destroy the whole building and possibly kill Starro. And they find out that like all these experiments have been being done on people because like Starro can basically like shoot other little starfish out of his armpits and that like fly onto people's like faces and kill them and like kind of like brain control them or like turn them into zombies, like puppets that Starro controls, which I thought was cool. I would almost like a whole movie about that. Like that would be cool. And yeah, they basically kind of reveal that the whole reason that they're there is to make sure that the information that it was the American government that like brought Starro to Earth and like it are the ones that are like kind of like funding these experiments. They're like trying to make sure that information doesn't get out. And Rick Flag is like pretty pissed at that and decides that he's going to like leak the information and go against Amanda Waller. But then Peacemaker reveals that he's there like as like the insurance to like make sure that the information stays secret and secure. And yeah, Rick Flag and Peacemaker start fighting. The whole building starts to collapse because Polka Dot Man accidentally set off the explosives by shooting out his polka dots at people. And yeah, Peacemaker kills Rick Flag, which I was kind of shocked by. And I was like kind of shocked mostly because like I felt bad. I'm like this character from the first Suicide Squad movie, I actually kind of gave a shit about in this movie, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that sucked, man. I don't like that he died. You know why he died? Because they started making the fucking HBO series. That's why he fucking died. Let's be honest. That's it. I'm pissed.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely. I have a feeling like that him killing Rick Flag has like a impact on him in the series or something, right? They probably like make that
Not
part of his
really,
character
but
development.
it's mentioned, but it doesn't. It's not really affecting him.
Okay. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm going pretty fast here. Is there anything like anyone wants to say so far?
The funny
Because
part when Polka Dot Man fucks it all up because he wasn't paying attention. That scene where they forgot who their driver was and they forgot that he was there, and Polka Dot Man's the only one that remembered his name, and he just died.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah, and I liked the scene with King Shark. He finds these like
Yes.
weird looking jellyfish things. Yeah, he basically like thinks he's made friends with them, and then once the building starts to collapse, that like tank that all these fish are in like gets destroyed, and like they start to like bite King Shark. Yeah, that was like funny.
Dude, they were doing damage. Those were not like small bites. He was like hurt. He was bleeding.
Yeah.
Like, oh man.
And yeah, anyway, so like yeah, Rick Flag gets killed by Peacemaker. Ratcatcher 2 gets the hard drive that all the information is on, and Bloodsport kind of like in the midst of like collapsing like through everything, uh just like kind of stumbles upon everything that's happening. He sees like Peacemaker's like pointing a gun at Ratcatcher, and throughout the movie, Bloodsport and Ratcatcher almost have like a daughter, like father-daughter relationship. And Bloodsport quickly like shoots Peacemaker, and then this is where the smaller bullets line comes up because we see their bullets, and blood sports are actually smaller. I thought that was funny. And yeah, it hits Peacemaker, and he supposedly dies at this point, but then it's revealed in the post-credit scene that he's alive and just recovering in a hospital. And then yeah, Starro's basically loose and like taking over like people and killing lots of like people in this nation of Corto Maltese, and like yeah, this I kind of don't know how I feel. I think like Will mentioned this earlier, but like all these movies about like kind of villainous characters basically becoming anti-heroes or like doing heroic things is kind of weird to me. I would kind of prefer if it was just like,
Dude, not even anti-heroes. Literally just villains being good guys. Like,
yeah, it's a little strange.
Yeah, I was a bit annoyed when that was happening again, because I know that was like a lot of people's complaint about the just Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
They end up being like the heroes and saving the day in the end, and they do it again in this one.
yeah, very strange that they just like kind of did that again. But whatever, I guess I don't know. So they basically all decide to like team up to destroy Starro. But Amanda Waller is like obviously like, you guys completed the mission, like come back. And they defy her, and Amanda Waller is like about to like set off the explosives in their necks, and her subordinates like knock her out. Because they obviously realize that she's like evil. She's like maybe the most evil character in the movie. I mean, like the Suicide Squad members aren't like that evil in comparison, it seems. But yeah, so
This
they
isn't
defeat
your regular
Starro.
ordinary evil. This is advanced evil.
What?
So the line from SpongeBob. This isn't just ordinary darkness. This is advanced darkness. Except it's just with evil and Amanda Waller.
Oh, okay,
So there you
okay.
go. It applies here. It applies.
All right.
all right. Whatever floats your boat, Will. Hey, close this
Yeah,
video.
whatever, Will. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
I bet I'm like the weasel of the group now, aren't I? I'm the one like drop in the water and don't even see if I can swim or not. I see how it is.
So yeah, they defeat Starro pretty unsurprisingly. But I thought the way they killed him was cool. Like Harley Quinn basically like cuts open his eye, or like plunges into his eye with like the javelin that she took with from the javelin guy who died.
As soon as she got her javelin, that's like I knew like she's going to just jump right into his eye. I knew it.
Yeah. But then Ratcatcher like has all her rats like enter his eye and like eat him from the inside.
That was pretty dope. That's OP too, man. Like
that,
all the
that
rats in the city.
But it's like I love like it's shot like beautifully, and it's like this like epic like kind of moment, like yeah, we did it, and like this fucking like kaiju god or whatever is like just dying, like being eaten alive on the inside. And they kill him, and I think like one of the people who like has I think it was like the general guy who like got one of the starfish on his face, like kind of Starro speaks through him and says something. He said something like, "I was fine just looking at the stars," or something like that.
Look,
I was like, "Oh damn, that was kind of sad."
I was about to look. I'm gonna be totally down to earth and honest here. That kind of hit me. That was sad. Like this,
that was
like,
sad,
dude. It was like he was literally just this at one point, like this innocent little just entity floating through, enjoying his time, obviously loving it, just seeing the universe and the stars, and then the astronauts had to go and fuck with him. Of course, he's turning violent. Yeah, humanity was the evil one here. Starro was the good guy at first, but we had to be the assholes.
When it showed like the scene of him captured and everything, it was like, just like let him go. He just wasn't doing anything. He got captured and experimented on. So when like the whole time then they're fighting him, I was like, just like tell them you just want to go back to space, dude.
Yeah, that's all you have to
be
say.
This way. They don't have to, you don't have to do
the
this.
Saddest thing. Hey, this is the exact definition of curiosity killed the cat. Humanity didn't need to do that. And look what happened. Like an entire city of people basically fucking died. Like,
Yeah. So yeah, they kill Starro, and Bloodsport basically uses the hard drive, the information on the hard drive, kind of as leverage against Amanda Waller, saying like, if you like, you're gonna release all of us, and you know, and if you try anything, like, we'll release the information. Uh, and yeah, I don't know. That's like basically the end of the movie. If let me just check my notes again. But yeah, that's kind of it. And then yeah, the post credit scenes are like Peacemaker is alive and the Weasel is also alive. Uh, and yeah, that's it. That's the Suicide Squad, essentially. Uh, yeah, what'd you guys? What's the consensus here? What do we
I
think?
loved it. I mean, plain and simple, I think I hit on all my points. I like the humor. I won't go too much in detail, but I love the movie. I'll probably watch it a few more times in my life, honestly. Uh, yeah, I'm a fan. I like it.
I
Well,
enjoyed it overall too. This was my first time seeing it, whereas it's both your guys' times, second time seeing it, and I enjoyed it. I kind of thought I would really love it, and I just liked it a lot. If that makes sense. I think if I were to watch it again, it would need to be with somebody because I can't just see myself just like I feel like watching the Suicide Squad today or something. I don't think I liked it enough where I feel like I got to go and see it again like really soon. But I still had a lot of fun with it. Like I said, most of the jokes I think landed pretty good. I just think it has parts where it kind of drags on a little bit too long. So I could see myself if I did watch it by myself, I would skip certain scenes just to get to some of the stuff I like more faster. So yeah, some pacing issues and stuff like that, but like characters are all pretty solid, pretty likable. Humor lands pretty well, and the action was pretty fun. So I enjoyed it for the most part. I enjoyed this movie.
yeah. Should we do our ratings now, or
Yeah, sounds good. Unless you want to give like any final thoughts, Julian.
yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree with you, Will. I think I really enjoyed this movie the first time because I think because I saw it in the theater and like everyone was really like into it. Uh, Watching it at home was like a, I don't know, like a lesser experience to me. Like I think you got to like watch this movie with people, at least for me. And yeah, like I think
It's a
Will would
social
agree.
movie, bro. I agree.
Yeah, it's a really like fun movie. Yeah, I don't know. Will, what would you rate it since you picked this movie? What would you rate it?
I think I'm gonna go with the 3.5 stars.
Okay,
Uh,
sounds good.
yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, any more to that? I don't know if are we just giving ratings and that's it? I don't know if we want to
Yeah,
add to it.
I think I just gave my
Oh yeah,
I like my impression. So it's like I think it's
Yeah,
like
I
a three
mean,
and a half.
we talked about the movie a lot. I mean, if
Yeah,
there's anything like we missed, go
you know,
ahead.
yeah. And I just think
Um,
if it had a little bit like better pacing and cut out some of the stuff that wasn't needed, it would probably would have been a 4. But I think that kind of brings it down like a 3.5, which I think is a very solid rating though. Still like enjoy the movie a lot. I'll definitely see it again at some point, but it will probably have to be with a friend. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with a 3.5 or 3.5 star rating.
all right.
uh,
Yeah,
you go ahead.
Dustin, what did you think?
Oh, I'm gonna agree with him for almost the same reasons. 3.5. I would have given it a 4 if, man, I don't know. It's more of like a feeling. Like there's just something in my chest that's like I don't. It was a mix of the little shit that just added up to half a point, and that's why it's not a 4. Like the Harley Quinn kind of was boring, and then like the plot for the president guy didn't need to be there. I didn't hate it, but it was kind of just like, all right, I want to see more of the other characters. Fucking enough of this shit, that kind of thing. But I wasn't even that annoyed. Like I'm more annoyed now talking about it. But like that mixed with like, I don't know, just like little teeny shit. I don't even. I guess mainly maybe just that. I thought, I don't know, it might just be that, but like, yeah, I'm gonna say 3.5 for similar reasons, I guess. I kind of copying you here, but that's how I feel, I guess. So yeah.
Hey, that's how you feel. That's how you feel.
Well, I originally gave this movie a 3.5 after seeing it in the theater. Like I really enjoyed it. And I think I'm bumping it down to just a 3. I think it was like a overall like really enjoyable movie, and I would like totally watch it again if someone was like, "Hey, do you want to watch the Suicide Squad?" But I think on my own, it's not something that I would like revisit. Um, or if I did, like, I think I agree with Will. Like, I'd have to skip some scenes. Like, yeah, like the Harley Quinn stuff was like not amazing. The middle drags for me. Uh, and yeah, I think like overall, like just kind of pacing issues and stuff like that, like kind of bring the movie down for me a bit. But 3 is still a good score for me. So yeah, I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. And I'll calculate the average rating. But what's our pick for next week, Dustin? It's
Let's
your
hear
pick.
it. I'm interested.
It is The Kings of Summer, directed by, and I'm gonna fuck this up, Jordan Vogt Roberts. I don't.
Oh yeah, the guy who directed. I think he directed Con Skull Island,
Oh, I don't know.
right?
Okay, that's
I
true.
But
think
That's
he
it's
did.
I like that movie.
I'll just say Allison Brie, Nick Offerman, Mary Lynn, whoever, I can't pronounce her last name, Nick Robinson, Aaron Moriarty, kind of the main.
Yeah, I've watched this movie before based on your recommendation, but I haven't seen it in a while. Um,
I've seen it a lot, but I have also not seen it for like 2 years. So yeah.
yeah. So far, Will recommends Sylvester Stallone movies, and Dustin recommends indie dramas or indie comedy dramas,
True.
Sounds
and
about
I
right so far.
recommended Paranormal Activity and John Carter.
You're just like all
John
over the place
Carter,
here,
dude.
Julian. All
Hey,
over the
Did you
place.
did
Take a
you see,
theme,
like,
dang it.
Speaking of John Carter, in a weird fucking coincidence, last week, out of nowhere, and I forget the fucking channel, it popped up in my recommended thing on YouTube. This huge channel, it got a fuck ton of views, and it was like the forgotten movie, John Carter. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
oh shit.
I
And it
saw
was,
something
like,
like
just-
about it in the news or something. Like not
I
the
don't
news,
know,
but
but
like some
it
social
makes
media.
sense
I was
because
like,
it was
oh,
the anniversary thing. But
mm.
like,
Yeah.
I was just like, yo, we just fucking talked about this piece of shit. Like, I gotta go back and watch it.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. Like we just talked about it, and then I saw something about it. I was like,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
that's weird.
Yeah,
I didn't read it or
look.
anything, but
I didn't look at our channel until like today, like just before we started recording, and our video has like over 2,000 views, which I was like surprised at.
Wait, which one?
The John Carter one.
Really?
Yeah.
What? Does that have any comments?
Yeah.
Oh,
I know.
no.
There's like one comment on it, I think, and
What?
Who's
I
our-
don't
no.
from
We need.
There's no
Who's our
way.
commenter?
Alec Cap said, "Great movie, would only benefit from CGI and a remake." I agree.
That's actually
But
kind
yeah,
of true, to be honest. A remake could do that thing justice.
That's a pretty nice comment for us, I think.
I was like really surprised because like our other videos were like pretty small potatoes.
Dude, I am
Uh,
so happy our first comment was not like an assy text of a cock, like a photo of like all the symbols
Dude,
or
yeah.
something. I'm so happy.
I'm
Oh my
looking at our videos. It's like 23 views, 11 views, 9 views, 2K views.
Yes,
I know.
dude.
What? I
was,
never
like,
even looked
really-
at this. What the
Yo,
heck?
you know why? It's because it was topical, man. It was the anniversary. People were like movie gurus
know.
looking it up and shit.
It has 9 likes.
Out
Wow.
of
Can I
all the
also
ones,
say-
too, 'cause that one
so
was,
weird. That's funny.
man.
And can I say too, when I saw the Batman in theaters, I was like, oh man, like the music fucking like rips. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
Who did it? And it's the same guy who did John Carter's music.
What the heck, dude?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Michael Giacchino, I think is his name.
Dude, I don't even want to blame him. His music is probably fine in John Carter, but it was so weird on screen that we just didn't notice it.
Oh, that movie. We went into why that movie was a mess. I don't think we need to go any further.
No.
Well,
Let's have another hour.
I don't know how I feel
on John
about our we're now most known for John Carter. I don't know how I feel about that.
Oh my god, I feel terrible about
I
it.
don't
That's
know how
why.
I feel about
It
that.
was-
I blame you, Julian.
It was my pick. It's the worst one we've seen so far. Maybe we just got to do like shit movies.
Dude,
and
no,
we'll
we
get
got to do
tons of views.
topical movies. If we did that like 4 months from now, it had 10 views. 100%.
All right. Well, next week, I don't know if we'll get 2,000
Next
views
week.
on it.
John Carter again.
Oh my gosh. This is really weird. This is like surreal.
I know.
We just start doing
yeah,
this and
so-
we get like reasonably, understandably, like no views on any of this stuff, which is not surprising.
Yeah.
And then like all of a sudden, dude, if you didn't tell me we had 2K videos or 2K views on this video, I would have not have believed you.
I
That's
know.
funny.
I almost didn't mention it, but like I felt like we had to.
I had no idea.
'Cause it was
That's
such a
funny.
jump.
We are the news network for John Carter. Tune in next
Please,
week,
no.
guys, where we're gonna
No,
have another
please.
John Carter special episode.
We're gonna talk about the 7 minutes of animation footage from 1937 that they made for a John Carter movie that never happened.
Yo, we're doing it.
No. Where can people find Kings of Summer, our actual movie for next week?
Hulu.
Hulu. Okay.
Hulu, it's free. Well, free. If you have a subscription to Hulu, you can watch it. Or that's the only place it's streaming, but you can buy it or rent it everywhere else. So
Okay. That
Sounds
sounds good. All right. Yeah. Well, we'll see you next time on the Movie Night Society.
peace.
Night, everyone.
See you.
Oh, I was about to end the call. Shit. I
Again.
can never get this right. God
This
damn
happened
it.
last